Hello, welcome back. So last video we made it to Renala, but I wanted to show you all what I did in order to level up and make it to Renala and defeat Red Wolf of Radagon. So I went to the round table and I introduced myself to a couple of the NPCs. One of the NPCs provides a good healing spell. I went to the bottom of the round table and I met the invader. Help me. No, I'm just being dramatic. He wasn't that bad. One of my hits managed to stop his major swooping attack, so I took a good chunk out of him there. At this point, I'm kind of just toying with him. I think I'm a little bit over leveled. He got me so good here, the developers were probably chuckling to themselves. He nearly got me here because I drank out of my blue flask instead of my red. It was so embarrassing, I completely ate that. Eventually, I was able to get a nice chunk out of him, but I was just being a little greedy here. He nearly got me there, but the frostbite is so difficult. Difficult because it's kind of like rot, it does damage over time. See, he's over here just spamming it at this point. And looking back, I don't know why this fight is so close. Alright, after seeing myself struggle, I realized I needed to grind a lot in order to level up. So what I decided to do was explore and find some tunnels. I went over to this cave enemy and I realized my weapons do nothing against him. So I decided to switch to the Morningstar weapon and double-hand it. So this Morningstar weapon is actually a reference to the Castlevania Morningstar weapons in the series and the games. And it is just so much more efficient. Honestly, this weapon is awesome. I might need to do a separate playthrough for this. Look at all that blunt damage. Let's be honest, the real reason why I came here was for these little stones. See, these stones are all over the caves. Also, this was completely by accident. This literally saved me. Found a somber smithing stone, and FromSoft tried to do a little FromSofty thing to me. There are layers to this cave because there's 3 elevators in here. Honestly, this reminds me I need to go back and explore it. And what do you know? We found the boss. It's such a weird boss too. It has the weirdest attack. So this boss sounds so weird. Doesn't that sound so weird? When you stun this enemy, there's little cracks that appear everywhere because they're made out of crystal. Okay, I think this weapon is OP for this area. And he's it. I feel bad calling it. He's gone. A little exploring after, we found a portal and we went to a church where we were supposed to confess, but hey, listen, I don't have anything to confess because all I did was delete a few enemies and bosses, give or take a few hundred. See, I have no sins, and this area is really cool because this is where Renala and Radagon got married. We'll be back later on though because this church has a secret. Ignore the body. Elden Ring is so beautiful though, so peaceful, so tranquil. Traveling to Caria Manor. I believe this is where Renala is from, and she came from here and traveled to Raya where she studied. Lost Grace discovered, and I'm ready to get destroyed by Caria Manor. We going for gold, baby. Oh, we getting tired, my stamina's low, but we still going for gold. Running past the hands and making it to Grace and safety. I barely dodged that. Ah, Grace. I wasn't really sure where to go, so I decided to go and get a famed sword. I think many people already know what this sword is. Although I'm not a magic build, I'm a strength and dex build, I just think it's really fun to collect the different pieces of equipment in this game. I grabbed the Sword of Night and Flame. In this castle, you kind of gotta be quick with it, because these wizards that you run into are a little bit more high level than the ones in Raya. And now we are entering a boss arena. And then we run into Loretta. She kind of reminds me of the Tree Sentinels. I'm so bad against magic enemies, but tell me, why does she spam this attack? At this point in the run, I really needed a drink because my gosh, it was not looking good. I forgot that she's able to do that, but listen, if I delete her, will I be able to get this move? Alright, second run, let's go. Seeing some of her newer magic attacks. See, this is why you should never panic roll, because that could happen. This is the third attempt, and I have no idea how she hit me here. You know, there's some times when I go back and I watch this and I'm like, wow, I'm doing so well against her. And then she goes back and she does this. There are times when I'm doing so well against her and then she does that to me. I mean, at this point, I just wanted to throw my controller. Then, finally, I started to redeem myself. Dev, why do all the enemies in this game have 9-foot verticals? Perfect dodge right there. Honestly, she really tried me here, but you know what? I have learned a thing or two after dying to her 20 times. Alright, I was being really greedy here. That greediness got me to the second phase. So the thing that I don't like about magic enemies is they just sit back and they spam these attacks like 30 times right here. And it just makes it hard for me to close the distance, but once I'm there, it's so easy. Again, she's going back to her childish ways of just spamming these attacks. Let's be real, I got her real nice right there. I really deserve this because I was being very greedy with those third and fourth hits. Okay, so please tell me how I made this mistake again. So then I decided I'm gonna go to bed and think about all the mistakes I had made. We're back, we're rested, we're hydrated. She's cheating, and spamming. Yeah, see that? That was like 7 attacks. Today is a good day. What is making me nervous is I'm using the Wondrous Physic and then I changed the Crimson Tears, but we are being a little greedy here. Dodging these attacks requires a little bit of parkour. Got a good chunk out of her. Honestly, some of these dodges are just perfect. So at the beginning of this run, I feel I was doing so well, and then all of a sudden I was making all these mistakes left and right, and I really paid for it at the end. Finally, after basically the 50th run, I finally defeated her. Some of these attacks are really good that you get. I'm going to start Ronnie's quest, and I'll put that in the next video. So I went back and I played against Renala. So Renala's boss fight is long, I would say. The reason being is that there's a couple phases to it. She's a 2-phase enemy. And also, so you have books flying at you. She's screaming. Sometimes I think that there's like a bookshelf that she throws at you. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's a bunch of things flying at you and she falls down and you have to get her health all the way. See, so she throws her bookshelf at me. And then I have to dodge a bunch of books. Eventually I make it to phase 2. So we have a perfect dodge here. Got her pretty good right there. Got her again. See, this is the thing with magic enemies. She's cheating. She really tried me right there. I'm being greedy here, but it's so worth it. I was all the way on the other side of the arena when she shot this. So yeah, she got me. So I visited the round table, hit up a couple NPCs, said hello. And then I found something very interesting. I found a new fit. After I grabbed the new fit, I was like, let's visit Renala. Pretty quickly, I was able to get her to fall and also get her to have health. Each time I hit her, I have to wait for my stamina to build up again. Finally was able to get her to fall again. Alright, and here we are on phase 2. So rewatching this, I feel I'm playing really sloppy against her. I'm playing so sloppy against her. Each time I hit her, she always finds a way to get back to me. But whenever I'm able to strike her, I do so much damage. Again, she really tried it with this one. Look at this. Who knew that they could fly backwards? I was able to sneak in a hit there. Order of business, I had to run away from a bunch of dogs. I almost died there. But you know what? It was worth it because, look, second time's the charm, baby. Goodbye, Renala. You were super annoying. Let's see. What do we get from this hardship? Why did she keep going on about Ronnie? Oh, we get a lot of runes. Finally, a sight of grace. We can actually respec with her from what I remember in my first playthrough. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe.